I've just had one medical thing after another, seems like the last year and a half. And I have and it's really hard for me, like, to call a doctor and to get, to kind of get the help I need. And I didn't realize how difficult it was, except that I had sisters constantly saying, and a husband, to call a doctor, and maybe this kind of doctor or that kind of doctor. I had Sandra Finland texting me, bugging me to death. And, I didn't want to lie to her that I hadn't called anybody yet. So I just try to avoid looking at the text.
I was bugging you to life, MaryAnn. I was not bugging you to death. I was bugging you to life.
That's right. But the more people bugged me, the more I realized, and I didn't want to realize, that there was really a wall. And a few days ago, Anne, in just her normal, huge wisdom, just said, have you had TPM prayer for that? For not being able to call doctors or having that be a problem? And I said, well, no, I never even had considered it, frankly. And she said, well, I think you ought to do that. So yesterday, Tony prayed for me, starting with I can't take care of myself. I mean, I get so nervous to even text write, email a doctor or call a doctor's office. I mean, I get frozen. And we beat around the bush a lot, didn't we, Tony, to begin with? But we did land in a very early childhood memory that was extremely traumatic, and where something was said to me that I just took in as truth, which was an absolute total lie. And I've just been operating in that and not really realizing it. And God shared his truth, and it all got cleared up. But I realize how many people, first of all, for Raelle for years probably telling me to see a doctor for this and see a doctor for that, and not paying any attention to her. But just the love to keep persisting in, because I'm loved, and people just persisting in their love, that really made yesterday happen. And so I am just grateful for the loving relationships of all of us, just all of us, because it is like giving grace to one another. I mean, people gave me a lot of grace. They didn't yell at me or anything like that, but their persistence was so unnerving, not truly unnerving, that it made me recognize that there was something not right. It wasn't just, oh, I'm just this way and I've always been this way, but their persistence and the fact that I kept having these physical things wrong, that the Lord is, wants to use all of this. I mean, I'm blown away with it, really, that, just from being the way I was to having to confront that the way I was wasn't walking in the freedom that the Lord had. And I'm just, thank you. Thank you, sisters.